We're live, guys. What's going on? It's Friday, July 31st, 1:30 p.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. I'm joined by Gary 3D Boxing is in the house, and Chilltown is in the house. Boys, thanks for coming on. How you guys doing?
Well, thanks for having me. It's good to have the whole troop here.
The whole
Looking
gang,
for
dude.
the
One
whole
of the first one of
gang.
the first live streams I ever did about boxing betting was me, Chilltown, you, like I think probably sometime last year, like maybe last
Yeah,
July.
I
I
think you're
was
Hell
new.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it was in the
I was
summer. Yeah.
I was new to the live streaming game. Um, so the Gary, you're dual streaming this on your end, right?
Yep.
All right, guys. But before we get this started, guys, if you're on my channel and you're tapping in, if you're not following 3D, go to his channel, give him a subscribe. Not many people around here are doing what we're doing. We're a small community collectively, and we put a lot of work into this. So show him some love. All right,
Thanks.
let's get going,
Yeah.
boys. Let's get going. You guys could start. We for the chat to know, we weren't really behind the scenes guys debating. I really don't know TJ's leans. I don't know. I only know who Gary's going with from watching his content. Chilltown, you reached out to me. Is there a specific fight you want to start out with?
No, I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Last time we had a stream, it was pretty good. I want to say it was Brandon Lee and Kane Sandoval. I want to bring that up.
Yeah.
No. It was a good stream, man. We went back and forth a lot. I don't know your picks for this one, so maybe we'll be going back and forth too. I know there's a lot of heated heads with Zepeda and Roach. I'm sure it was something similar with Spence and Zoo.
Well, Spence and Zoo, I don't want to. I said only a retard would bet on that fight, right? Like you got one guy who sucks and one guy who hasn't fought in 3 years, and when he did fight, and it's Crawford. So I'm not giving anyone crap for getting beat up by Crawford, but he got dog walked by Crawford. 3 year layoff, going up 2 weight classes, coming off that beating in a brand new camp. Yeah, let me bet on that guy. It's like, okay, guys, tread lightly.
Well,
Yeah,
my beef with that whole thing was actually from a quote unquote boxing analyst expert perspective all week because the fight card was here in Sydney. Hearing the Aussie commentators, the former Aussie champions like Billy Dibb, Chalk Mundine, Danny Green, hearing the American commentators, former champion Sean Porter, Timothy Bradley, gaslighting the public by making it sound like they're sharing clips of Errol on the pads, making it sound like Errol looks good, using those captions. And meanwhile, I'm in the comment section like he looks awful. Errol does not look good. I was like, he's evidently neurologically declined. You can see it. Anyone who's ever either held pads or boxed could see it, and nobody wanted to admit it. So on the back end of you, Gary, saying, why would you bet on Errol? I told my whole group, bet the mortgage on Zoo. I was like, he's gonna feed families. We got him at plus money. Not to say Zoo looked great, but Errol was a shell of himself.
But that's the problem. I
yeah.
have a rule: don't bet on crappy fighters. And at this stage, Zoo's a crappy fighter. He won, and that's cool.
Didn't look
I
great.
don't bet on that. There were better bets. It was a busy week. There were better fights to bet on than Errol Spence versus Tim Zoo. That's all. That was my entire argument. Like there are better fights to bet on than that. That's a dog water fight. Don't
let me
bet on
just
that
say,
fight.
let me say one thing with that weekend. The biggest fuck up of that weekend was Liam Wilson and his team for not taking that Fulton fight. That was a fucking give me. Like, Fulton obviously was completely mentally checked out. I don't know what happened with his training camp. When you miss weight by that much, that wasn't for an event. Like, he was so disinterested. He had that. Liam Wilson had that fight on a platter. He would have stopped Fulton. That was not a Fulton that wanted to be in that ring. I don't know why his team wouldn't take that fight. That weight was not an advantage. That was a complete disadvantage, similar to what Gustavo Lemos came in, close to 6 pounds overweight, had his worst performance against Keyshawn Davis. I remember Anthony Yiggett blew weight over 5 pounds, got completely steamrolled by Rolly Romero. Like that was. I'd rather have, let me just say this, I'd rather have a Steph Fulton that had a belly at 139 than a locked-in Steph Fulton that came in at 129, ripped and ready to go. I don't know why Liam Wilson wouldn't roll the dice and take that fight. I already like Liam Wilson in the fight. As soon as he changed the weight class and then he blew weight, I was like, what? I was like, oh man, Liam Wilson's gonna steamroll this guy. I don't know why they called that off on his end. That's all I got to say on that.
Gary, do you want to comment on that?
Well, he missed weight by how much? It was 4.5 pounds, right?
Well, the fight
6
was
pounds?
contracted at 130. He then asked for it to be at 133, and then he weighed in at 139.
139.
The reason why Liam Wilson can't do that because of the lack of professionalism. That is not a standard. That is not an ethical sort of thing you want to start showing fighters that you could get away with. Hell no. Dude, Seth Fulton should be Seth Fulton left millions of dollars on the table. His family, his future. You think people are going to want to mess with Fulton? It's not his first time either. Flies 15 hours to Australia, being featured in a title eliminator, and he's that sort of unprofessionalism. I don't care if I see Seth Fulton again, to be honest. I'm glad Wilson didn't give him the opportunity to perform, even if he would have lost. Like, that guy, who's going to want to do business with that guy?
I get that from that standard, but from
that pissed me off, man.
Yeah,
I know. You know, weighing in is part of the game. And then Tuesday night we were streaming the Grand Arrivals in our Discord. Because I live in Australia, we have a lot of Aussies in there, and Sean Porter and Paulie were standing right next to Liam, or standing right next to Fulton, and I was like, there is no way Fulton's making weight. I mean, Gary, you've seen Sean Porter in the last year. You've been in the same space.
I saw him a couple weeks ago.
What's he walking around at? 180? Maybe big?
Easy. He's stocky as hell. Yeah, easy. Bro, 180.
Easy 180. So when you're seeing Steph on Tuesday of fight week looking thick, I was like, this freaking guy, man. I knew it. I called it then. I was like, this guy's not making weight.
Not only that, his last fight when he blew weight with Foster, he was 132. Arguably his worst performance. I mean, he got blown out. He looked, his timing was off. His feet were off. He was pushing his punches. He looked horrible. I thought he would even look worse now going against Liam Wilson. So out of the professionalism side, I can see Liam Wilson's team saying, okay, we're not taking it. But I mean, having Fulton on your record.
I see where you're getting at. It's a gamble, man. I think that it's a weird situation to be in. What I heard, and I've said it, I don't need to put anyone on blast. Maybe you guys, if you don't know, what I heard is Fulton's been having a really, really good time in Philly at DSG's bar, and I've heard that that's been the case from people that have seen him there in fight camps in the past, recently, just on the piss.
I mean, whatever he has, it's not that all of a sudden his body filled out like it may when you're 24 years old and all of a sudden you go from a boy to a man, right? He's like 30. He's overweight. And perhaps his body got bigger, but he's gone from 122 to now he can't make, now he's junior welter?
I know.
You know, like that's just beer and pizza. That's what that is.
Absolutely crazy. Last week was one of those weeks where we had a few of them, in a row, Boots versus Xander last week, Zoo versus Errol this week. It's, Zepeda versus, my mind's all over the place.
Roach.
But Lamont, but the community is cut in half. This is another one of these fights that people will be cheering for their guy and they're going to throw logic out the window. People will cheer for Lamont because there's no way they're going to cheer for Zepeda. And they're not going to give you a path to victory. They're just cheering for Lamont, and I get it. Same with Zepeda. On this channel and on your channel, Gary, and then in your community on X, Chilltown, it's all about logic because we're not fans of fighters. We're fans of the sport, and we're a bigger fan of making money. We might as well just keep it there, and we'll see where we go because this is the fight of all the fights. The Queensberry card's okay. A lot of people are getting hype about the main event there in Ireland, but it has nowhere near Zepeda versus Roach for this vacant 135 belt. Gary, is there where's your head at on this fight? On paper, it's kind of been 50-50. The odds kind of say that. I think Lamont's a slight favorite. What do you see?
Well, I'm going to come off on sitting the fence here. If I had a gun in my head and you asked me, Gary, who wins? I would lean Roach by split decision. If I had to make a bet, I love the value on Zepeda by this. To me, this is like such a 50-50 fight. Bet the draw. Like that is, I would say the best bet on this is a draw. If I had to make a bet, gun in my head, Gary, make a bet. Zepeda, I'm getting Zepeda on points at plus 350. A pretty good power, right? Like he's skilled on the inside. He's not just like Margaritos, like walking face first into everything. He's got some skills. He's got a little bit of footwork. He's pretty good. But like Roach is so much more complete. Like Roach is such a better boxer. And he's so much more skilled even on the inside. But it's so difficult to counteract what Zepeda does. It's such a hard fight to bet. If I had to bet, I would say Zepeda by points is a good bet, and the draw is a good bet at plus 1,500. If you said simply who's going to win, I think 52-48, I would lean in favor of Roach. I know that's sitting on the fence. I get it.
I never was a believer in draws until I think it might have been Jorge Garcia versus Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
In Chilltown, didn't you bet the draw in the first fight and you hit?
Did,
and you shared the ticket, and I was like, holy shit. And then I wrote in the Discord,
got lucky at it because I had Gucci Man, and I was like,
I had never.
I
got lucky at it.
And I got a draw. I was like,
well, I'm only bringing that up because Gary referenced play the draw. I've never once bet a draw, and it's just like I never thought of betting a draw until Chilltown bet the draw and it hit, and it kind of altered my way of thinking about fights. But I still have never bet a draw.
You've never bet a draw.
I've never bet a draw
with Vito Melnicki and the Irish guy,
Connor
Coyle. Yeah.
I remember we spoke about that too. I was on your stream and I said, you know what? You should play the draw. That fight's going to be close.
It was plus 1,600. Yeah.
TJ, what's your read on Roach Zepeda?
Look, I'm a little bit different than Gary because as soon as this fight was announced, I thought it was an easy bet. It was an easy click for me on this. I like William Zepeda's style against Roach. I think this is a stylistic matchup. That's what it's going to come down to. You know, we've been watching both these fighters. I'm assuming a lot of the chat has too for a long time. They're both big names, right? And man, so like I guess to the casual, I'll break it down like this: like a great pressure fighter will beat a great boxer, and that's what I think we have here. You know, you have Shakur, who was elite. That's the thing. Actually, Shakur's not even elite. Shakur is above elite. Shakur is a special. And I think he'll go down as special. He doesn't have the resume yet to probably put him there. He's very avoided. But William Zepeda still did very, very well against a special fighter in Shakur. He did better than Teofimo did, that's for sure. But it's going to – he brings way too much pressure, way too much volume. He's going to be relentless. A lot of people bring up the Pitbull Cruz fight. Look, Pitbull Cruz and William Zepeda are very different. William Zepeda works behind a jab. He works inside with the jab. His jab's one of his best punches. For people that don't know, he fights southpaw, but he's an orthodox fighter, which means like his jab is his strong hand. He works behind the hook. He gets in, and then if he's not hitting you with the first and second shot, he's getting you with the third, fourth, and fifth shot. And that's a lot different than Pitbull Cruz because Pitbull Cruz isn't a big combination puncher. He'll whip the hook one or two. You rarely see a 3 and 4 afterwards. And Lamont Roach is good at rocking the 1 and 2, but it's the 3, 4, and 5 that's going to win the fight. And you saw that against Farmer, where I thought he separated himself there. You know, a lot of people think the Farmer fight was really close. I watched it back a few times, and I think it was a situation where a lot of people thought Farmer was going to get in there, steamrolled, and get knocked down. And he overperformed in that fight. But I still only max see him 4 rounds. I think it was 3 or 4 rounds in that first fight. And, man, it's just Zepeda's going to have too much. If Roach can't hurt him and hurt him early, I think the fight's going to get out of his hands.
That's kind of my take, and I've been saying it all week. There's a lot to like about both guys. The stylistic matchup is like a fight boxing purist dream. You know, you got the boxer swarmer versus the guy who's, like Gary said, all around. My problem with Roach, though, and you got to talk, you know, you have to bring up A-side chat. You have to talk about politics. It is Golden Boy. You have to think, and Roach is a traditional slow starter in terms of his output. If you look at stats, you could Google this, guys. You have Zepeda, who averages between 90 and 100 punches around, and you might as well just cut that in half with Roach's output based on his style. He's wants to counter you. I just feel if Roach had a little bit more power, I might be thinking about this differently. But this fight's at 135. We've seen Roach cut his teeth to 30. He's kind of been elevating a bit, 40, 35. And I just don't know if he has the power to deter William Zepeda. And people are like, well, Roach was successful against Tank. You got to understand, Tank is not the style. Zepeda's not going to stand in the middle and catch and shoot with Roach. That he's not going to fight him anywhere near.
That was a technical battle. We're not going to get a technical battle from William Zepeda.
And I think a lot.
Let me bring up Hector Garcia, because the Hector Garcia that I've always known, and the Hector Garcia that was famous from Chris Colbert. You remember the kid from Brooklyn? He's a blue chip prospect. He was
Ryo went viral off of Colbert. He propelled himself.
Exactly. And same with Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia was a monster pressure fighter. He pressed the shit out of Chris Colbert. And even against Tank, when Hector did very well early against Tank Davis, and then he got clipped, got hurt, and he had some vision problems where he said he was either couldn't see or had blurry vision. Right after that fight, he went in against Lamont Roach, and there was no pressure. There was no pressure from Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia looked more like Alberto Puello. He was trying to fight on the back foot, not throwing in combinations, just trying to counter Lamont Roach. He looked like he had PTSD and didn't want to commit. The few times that he did step inside and committed and threw some combinations, he had a lot of success against Lamont. So, yeah, Lamont beat Hector Garcia, but I have an asterisk in that fight because I'm watching it. I'm like, that's not the Hector Garcia I know. He definitely looks like he's scared to commit, and he has some PTSD from the damage he took from Tank. So, yeah, Lamont won, but it wasn't a clear cut. Like, it wasn't a victory, a performance that said, wow, Lamont's here. I didn't get that from that. I thought it was more Hector. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me add this, too. That was a nip and tuck, life and death fight. It was close even into the last round, and Lamont needed a knockdown to win a close split decision against Garcia, who was coming off a knockout loss. So the next question I'm going to say, what is Lamont Roach's best win? You got to say it's the Hector Garcia win.
It's definitely Hector Garcia. Look, I didn't think it was going to be a split. I thought he was pretty well. I didn't think he needed the knockdown. I thought he was probably up by 2 rounds against Hector Garcia. But like I said, it was a completely different Hector Garcia post and pre-Tank. So I can't put too much weight on that because we all know about resumes, but it's when you fought them, how you fought them, which weight you fought.
It was the next fight. Yeah, he fought him right after. Like Garcia had just got knocked out.
Yeah, and it wasn't a dominant performance, a dominant victory. And then he fought Tank. And listen, was that the best version of Tank? I don't know. I wasn't wowed by Tank. Like, Lamont fought perfect. You can only fight who's in front of you and how you're going to fight them. And I thought Lamont fought very well, but I wasn't blown away.
I think people were kind of impressed with Lamont's ability to win 50-50 exchanges. We hadn't seen, when is the last time we saw Tank losing 50-50 exchanges? Punching
standing in the pocket.
And a lot of people put a lot of weight, even right now in the chat. If you read it, people, the history books will say it was a draw. People will, put an asterisk. They say Lamont won that fight, but it was a draw. And
keep in mind, though, Tank's not a round winner. Tank drops a lot of rounds. He typically relies on later figuring you out and then stopping you. So that doesn't shock or wow me. Like, okay, he didn't stop Lamont. It was a close fight. But, Tank's throwing 1 or 2 shots trying to set you up at a time. Go ahead.
When Tank was in it with Pitbull, and Tank needed to sit back and box that 12th round and win the round to win the fight, he outboxed Cruz easily in the 12th round. Like, Tank he's still boxed.
That's another conversation because Pitbull also, if you want to say who's the better fighter, Pitbull or Zepeda, I would say Zepeda's the better.
I put Zepeda a level. I put Zepeda a level above Pitbull.
Let's also say this: they have a common
in all the
opponent.
things you can't measure, though. In all the little things, the little minutia of the sport, the feints, the setups, the traps, the Pitbull. I see a guy who's what he wants to do. Everybody knows what he wants to do. People try to say Zepeda's just a pressure fighter. Zepeda brings a lot to the ring.
Pitbull, I'll say Pitbull has more one-punch power. He has that. He winds up on shots. He puts a lot more behind his.
He telegraphs that backhand though, man. He like the way he just goes to the well time after.
Yeah, he caught Roach with it. So I mean, he did. not dropped him, but he was on his way to going down Lamont, like his glove touched. But
and guy, what do you boys think? Because another common narrative being
John,
passed
can I
around
just
this
ask you
week.
a favor real quick? I got a super chat from 79. Can I read it real quick?
Of course.
Can you pop it up real quick? 79, shout out. Thanks for the $5. 79 says Shakur is better than Lamont, but they have a lot of similarities. And I think you can argue Roach could be a bigger problem in the pocket. He hates Shakur. I agree with I agree with some of this, and I disagree with other bits of it. Like I don't think Shakur is better than Lamont. That's true, but they have a lot of similarities. I think they could argue Roach could be a bigger problem in the pocket. Okay, I think that strictly he moves around the pocket really well. He doesn't give you a good target. He keeps moving. He has more snap on his shots. He can hurt you more in the pocket. He can slow you down more in the pocket than Shakur can. I think there's something to be said. Like I think 79. I think there's something here. What do you guys think of this?
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
I disagree.
I don't think there's anything there. Look,
I think
they
Shakur
even
likes
a common. They even share a common opponent in Jamal Herring. Like you had Shakur, who dominated pretty much every minute of that fight, and then you have Lamont, who lost that fight. They're not even a level apart. I'm saying they're levels apart. Shakur and Lamont Roach.
Shakur's timing and speed. Shakur, like people, like he'll fight a lot of his fights on the front foot. There's a weird. People think that he's a back foot guy.
He's
Shakur,
not a devinhaney. No, he's a pocket fighter. He'll fight you in the pocket.
He'll fight you in the pocket, and his timing versus Roach's timing, and his hand speed versus Roach's hand speed, and
We're
his
not arguing who's better. We're just arguing that they both kind of operate well in the pocket, right? And Lamont moves around the pocket well. He does.
They're different. I think Farmer's closer to Shakur. I think Farmer's closer to Shakur on how he's going to make you miss and make you pay than Lamont.
I'm like, it's interesting because I don't think Lamont Roach even stylistically his style looks like Shakur. I don't think that he does he doesn't use the entire ring. His feet aren't that good. He doesn't have, he's not the biggest body puncher. So for me,
I disagree. His legs aren't that good. I think his feet are excellent. Like I think Roach is a lot like you guys. I feel like are stuck in the Orlando Cruz, Jamel Herring. That was a long time ago. You go back, you watch from the McCrory fight on.
Don't stop with McCrory though. I can't even.
Okay,
I don't count McCrory.
Don't give me like a club. McCrory's somebody you pull out the New York Golden Gloves.
Fine, yeah, that's fine. Like that,
I said that yesterday. I'm not giving you McCrory.
No,
I'm not saying it's a good. I'm just saying the skill set has vastly improved. Like I see why he was so touted by Golden Boy all those years ago. Like it took him some time, but he's an excellent body puncher. Right? He doesn't square up. He's not on his bicycle running. He stands in front of you and makes you miss, kind of the way that Devin Alexander did back in the day. Like that's the comp to me. He's more Devin Alexander. I don't know if you maybe you guys think that's good, maybe you think that's bad, but he's 130-pound Devin Alexander to me that can make you miss without running and is kind of complete. Like from the mid-range in, he's really complete. He's really complete offensively and defensively.
Gary, where do you think this fight is fought?
Okay, so I mean it's fought in the pocket and in, right? Like that's
or do you think Lamont's gonna fight how I don't know if you've ever seen the Rene Alvarado fight, but Lamont didn't fight that in the pocket. He boxed Rene Alvarado.
I think he's gonna fight him similarly to how the kid from Tevin Farmer fought him. I think the fight's gonna look similar.
That was in the pocket, and you know right. Tevin utilized a lot of clinching, a lot of vet tactics there.
I don't think Tevin gets enough credit, man. People have been trying to this whole week just act like Tevin wasn't a world champion because of his win-loss record. Tevin Farmer at his best is a long night for anybody.
I mean, look, Tevin was coming off
I think you guys are sleeping on how good Lamont Roach is. I think you guys are underestimating Lamont. I think we all agree on Zepeda. I think you guys, we value Roach differently than we value Zepeda. I think Zepeda is every bit as good as you guys do. I just think Roach is a lot better than you guys are giving him credit for.
That could be true. Yeah,
it's hard for me to get past Lamont Roach's in terms of what have you done for me lately. His best, what is he known for? Fights that he hasn't won.
I mean, he's not the judge, right? I mean, we all know that We all
all
know
I'm
that
saying,
he Tank Davis. He got screwed by the commission and then screwed by the judges.
So we must mention psychology in this sport, right? Here's why I reference that. Now, one of the things that I was most impressed with Zepeda against rewatching the Shakur fight is that even up until the last bell, you never looked at Zepeda and saw that he was frustrated. That dude at 30 years old, man, I feel he's taken 12 rounds from Shakur. I feel we're going to see another level. Now, you can't say the same with Teo versus Shakur. Like the beating Shakur gave Teo, I think Teo's left something of himself in the ring that night. I don't see that with Zepeda. And psychologically with Roach, I don't know, man. Like you get this guy who's only lost as one of the best fighters in the world in Zepeda, with that output and that pressure, and he could punch too. Like it's not like he can't punch.
No, he
I
can punch.
think
For a guy that throws that much, it's like
that's
he
what
can
I'm saying.
punch. Yeah.
And I like how TJ referenced the reverse southpaw style with his lead hand, because he does throw a lead hook as well when you're backing up. And I got him at plus 140. He's down to plus 120. I couldn't believe he was the dog. I got to be honest with you. The books reminded me of Arnold Barbosa Jr. versus Kenny Sims Jr. when ABJ was the dog. I was like, they got this wrong. And so I'm not trying to compare the stylistic matchup, but I think there are some parallels.
And AB was also the ace high going to that. Yeah,
A side as well.
When I looked at this too, I was a little confused also, because stylistically, I think the books are overrating Lamont Roach here. From the Tank draw, okay,
Same.
but different style. And then his last fight with Pitbull Cruz. But even with Pitbull, it was nothing I was really impressed with. I was more very disappointed with Pitbull Cruz's performance, if that makes sense. It seems like he took a few rounds off where he tried to box. He was trying to be silly. Pitbull on the back foot. It wasn't the normal, like, put your head down, go chest to chest, and just, try to. And maybe that has to do with, maybe I'm underrating Lamont. Maybe Lamont forced that out of Pitbull. But, man, I look at Pitbull, like Pitbull and Zepeda, they share a common opponent also with Giovanni Cabrera. Giovanni Cabrera, I thought maybe he got a draw against Pitbull, whereas Zepeda just grinded him down and stopped him within a few rounds. I think for the people that compare the pressure fighters, look, Zepeda's a lot bigger. He's going to be taller than Roach. You had Pitbull, who was shorter than Roach. It's a completely different style, orthodox southpaw. And then you have Zepeda, who's going to work behind the jab to get in. He's not just throwing that big one shot, two shot. He's going to be throwing 4, 5, 6, and 7. So
I'm going to get to 79 with the super chat. I'm going to pin it on the screen for Gary. I just also wanted to say for the bettors out there, we have over 100 people in this live stream. Make sure you like the video. Guys, I think it's important for us to then talk about close round optics. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of nip and tuck rounds. I assume this fight, I still think it's a 50-50 fight. I'm just taking Zepeda, and partially because of in these close rounds, optically what the judges will see, you got to think Roach is going to need a couple knockdowns if it's going to go to the cards to win a decision or just win outright. How's he do that with such low volume?
Got to hurt him. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. You can throw no punches and win a world title. We had that discussion last week. But let me read it. I think Zepeda gets knocked down once while shoe shining the body. He's easy to time and lunges and looks away while throwing some. There's a lot of flaws in Zepeda.
He's not a perfect fighter.
Take the words out of my mouth. I don't want to look. You can win a punch. You can win a world title by holding and running and throwing no punches. We already saw that. Come on, Johnny. We had that argument last week. Nope, don't throw any punches. We
don't argue.
Just hold and run.
We don't argue.
And run, and they'll give you a world title if you're in your home country.
Politics. That's politics. So to the bettors out there who are torn in these close rounds, you got Golden Boy, Oscar, Zepeda's the A side. You got, he's the. I just don't. I think Roach is the one climbing uphill here in these, from the judges' perspective. I know they're doing live scoring too.
Well, what's more likely to happen? Roach hurting Zepeda multiple times, or Zepeda out throwing him and outlanding him? I mean, that's like to kind of break it down as basic and common sense, because you have to win seven rounds out of the 12. So is Roach going to do that, or is Zepeda? I mean,
when round 1 starts, Zepeda's going to be up on the cards 30-27. He's going to be
in
up
round 12, Zepeda's still going to be
up
on
30-27.
That's why my official bet is Zepeda by points. I think Zepeda by points at plus 320, which is what I got it at. That's a hell of a value right there. That's great value.
It's a great bet because, if you like Zepeda on the money line, Zepeda on the money line is paying the same as Lamont on points. And Lamont's the favorite. So it's kind of like.
Were you guys a little surprised that Lamont was the favorite?
I was surprised. I feel that people, because of the tank draw. What were we talking about, Lamont? When were we talking about Lamont Roach?
Was a split decision against Hector Garcia at 130, and I just said that was.
He's got the win over your boy McCrory since then too. It was Garcia and McCrory. The 2 draws.
Come on, mate! How dare you?
I'm just being factually correct. That was technically his last win. And then he beat Tank, and then he's got the draw with Pitbull.
So, to put a bow on my bet, the boys know when I'm taking an underdog plus money, I'm not getting sexy. I smashed Zepeda weeks ago at plus 140. That's my bet. I've gone full unit on Zepeda, and my boots are dug on that. TJ, what's your final bet that you got money riding on?
I just took same thing. Zepeda money line. Look, what has surprised me could Zepeda stop Roach? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it begin 9, 10, 11, 12, and all of a sudden those body shots are taking the toll.
But you guys make it sound is he a better body puncher than Roach? I don't know if he is. He could stop Roach. Roach could stop him with a single body shot. He's got multiple body shot knockouts. You guys make it sound like
how
Roach
survived that second fight with the body. There was times where Farmer's corner was telling him to take a knee. He was visibly hurt from the body shots. I don't know how he came back in that second half of the fight because it was getting really ugly. Props to Farmer, but I don't know. I don't know how Roach is going to react from the body work. Zepeda works the body. I'm taking money line. Be safe with Roach. That. Covers yourself with the draw too.
But okay, I'm not. It does. I'm just not convinced that Zepeda is going to win the fight. I think it's a truly 50-50 fight. I'm 51% and 52% in the favor of Roach. It's that kind of fight. I think you guys are selling Roach a little short in this. I'm not saying he's going to win. It is such a tossed-up fight to me.
I guess I've never put Lamont Roach at the world-class level. There's a reason why Zepeda got the fight with Shakur. Where are all the people last week who were telling me Errol's only loss is to the best fighter in the world? How are you going to use that against him? Well, where are you guys at now? Zepeda's only loss is to Shakur.
Well, I tell everyone the last time you were impressed by Errol Spence, you were wearing a COVID mask. That's how long ago it was since Errol Spence looked good in a fight.
Gary, who did you pick for Pitbull versus Lamont Roach? Did you make a pick for that?
Pitbull and Lamont Roach. Yeah. I picked Lamont.
See, yeah, I picked Pitbull, and I walked away from that. Yeah, I walked away from that thinking Pitbull gave that fight away. Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed.
Gary, how did you score that? Because I went in picking Lamont too. How did you score that?
I think I had it a draw. I think I actually had it a draw on my card. If I'm remembering correctly, I had both the Tank fight and the Cruz fight. I think I agree with the judges on both of those. I think I had them both a draw.
His legacy would look a lot different if those 2 draws would have been wins. It would have been a lot different, but it's not. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. And so 12 rounds of that pressure, stressful ass style with the, dude, people are trying to say because Zepeda got clipped and got dropped that he's chinny. I'm like, what? He's never been
Yeah, everybody was telling me that Steve Butler's chinny too. It's stop. He gets hit way too much, right? But stop. There's a difference between being chinny and just eating too many shots.
Yeah, are you talking Steven Butler?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Eye the Tiger. Eye the Tiger has been if it wasn't for promotional companies like Eye the Tiger, manufacturing guys on the domestic scene, and us betting the A sides, and then they bring this guy up and then bring him internationally. The Tiger keeps feeding us, man. Like that was, but he doesn't move any. He actually moved his head more than I've ever seen against Berlanga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That fight went exactly how I thought it would go. Like someone's gonna die in that fight. the stop. Right. I thought let him go out on a shield a little bit. The way that fight was going.
There's always in our community, and I can always speak for my community. There's always every fight week. There's always these like weird fights that weren't on my radar that are highly contentious in the chat. One of them is on the card, and we're gonna stay in America. People are trying to sell me on the fact that the king of the one-rounder, Paulie Kroll, is going to beat Charles Conwell. What's your take on this?
That's just wild and inappropriate. Guys, you want a great parlay piece? Charles Conwell. I just dropped my video on it. You guys want a parlay piece? Charles Conwell.
I think because he went up against the vet, Chino really surprised a lot of people with how crafty and how seasoned he was. Conwell really underestimated him, had a super disheartening performance. Conwell was a Team USA guy, a guy with real power. And look, the winner got Xander. So, he was already
he's from Ohio, just so you know why Johnny loves. I'm a big
Cleveland. No, he's not. Yeah. I don't like Cincinnati fighters. I only like Cleveland fighters. Right? Yeah. I'm kidding, man. AB, shout out to AB and shout out to Aaron Pryor.
Come on. Yeah.
The Hawk. Come on, the Hawks from Cincinnati, baby. But I'm excited to see Conwell back. We'll know. We'll see if he mentally is still there. He's only 28. I don't like giving up on a 28-year-old who had all this hype, who lost the split decision. I think he lost 8-4. They said it was split. I was like,
yeah, not a
he lost. I watched. I thought it was super close. I just watched it again.
It might have been 9-3. Yeah. It might have.
Yeah, that's how I had it because I just watched it today.
Yeah,
and I think it was 9-3.
Conwell, what was up with Conwell getting his head stuck on Chino's left side the entire time?
Talk about that. It seemed like he made
no
in that
adjustments.
Fight super early. Is he the wrong weight class?
Bro, he's not even that big. He's only 5'8".
I know, but he gassed so much. He looked so in the middle of that fight. He looked so tired, and the movement and the explosiveness and he was fighting defensively, right? Like that.
I've never seen him look so bad.
I've never seen him look like that. So,
same. I've never seen him look so bad. And so
he fought the wrong style. Yeah, he fought the wrong style in that fight.
I think people underestimate Chino. Just shows you why experience matters, though. That dude, he had been around. He savvy, all the little tricks he was doing in the pocket, how he was turning them,
dangerous.
And he wasn't getting touched, using the ropes, touching them, annoying them. I left that fight, pissed at my parlay burn, but I was like, damn, Chino's good.
He was like a 16-1 favorite too.
It was crazy.
It was
absolutely insane.
Not close on the books. Yeah.
There's boys taking Kroll here, and you dissect into Kroll. 12 pro fights, 31 years old, hasn't fought a real sanctioned 10-12 rounder in a few years. He's has a losing record in these one round the fight league sort of fights.
Yeah,
Because no one takes into account. They just okay, Conwell's a bust. Conwell sucks, so Conwell's gonna lose. Well, stop. He's fighting Paul Kroll, right? Everyone wants to be so far ahead of the curve. I knew Conwell was gonna. He's not losing this fight. I don't think so either. He's not losing to Paul Kroll.
Well,
I just want a parlay piece. This is reasonably priced.
There's always a flag when you got a fighter coming off a loss and inactive. So that's why the odds are close.
All right, so there's a props just open up on my books, and a prop that I'm playing, and I paired this with a double. It's Curiel versus Randall, and firstly, I think these odds are super disrespectful. I don't think Ryle Curiel should be a 7-1 favorite. I mean, in a lot of these, but 7-1 favorite. I like Curiel on points here at $1.69. I don't think he's going to stop Randall, and so I'm actually using the prop on a two-way.
That's a 10-round fight, right? Should be a 10-round.
What do you guys think about this matchup?
Yeah, I like that. My price is even worse. I have Curiel. It was 14-1 on my book this morning.
That's insane. That is so.
DraftKings has 12-1, and FanDuel has 14-1.
That's so disrespectful. I just think Randall.
I don't understand it. Yeah.
Well, they think Randall hasn't made 147 in a while. I think.
Okay. Do you think the stoppage here is live?
Oh
It's possible. I would bet by decision too.
I don't know. Yeah. Are they trying to like, when did he get noticed? Are they trying to burn him down to make 147 so he's weak in the ring? But I do like, outside of that, Quentin Randall's a vet, man. He knows how to survive. He's got a good jab. He's got good boxing IQ. The first thing I went to go check though, when's the last time he made 147? That's the first thing I went to go look at. I think maybe it was when he had the upset over Boca Chica, which I played, by the way. Boca Chica is very, very one-dimensional. And Randall, I knew, was in like dog shape for that fight. He was up for that.
Randall, he's 35. He's never been stopped. He's won 3 in a row. Oh, he's won 2 in a row. You said this fight is at 47.
Yeah. What weight was he at beforehand?
He fought Maldonado. Yeah, he fought Maldonado. He weighed in above middleweight. It looked like it was sanctioned at 60. And then the fight before that, it was at 150. So his last fight, he did take kind of a stay busy fight, and he weighed in slightly above middleweight.
Okay.
So, but the fight before that, he weighed 150, a couple pounds above welter.
And Curiel's had some good fights after Alexa Roca, the draw, which probably was actually a draw. Most draws aren't draws, but I think that was a draw. That was kind of a war there. And, yeah, he's going to have pressure. He's going to be thrown. He's going to be on the front foot, Curiel. So I could see why the odds are the odds. I mean, Quentin Randall's going to have to be perfect to probably get the upset over Curiel.
79 says Randall told him, and I saw this message. He messaged him and he shared it. He said Randall told him best camp.
Yeah.
It's what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like they will say that. I'm sure he
Fulton
did
didn't say it.
Yeah.
Fulton He did it. Tuesday night at their rivals. He was like, damn, I got to cut. He said it, damn, I got to cut a lot of weight. I was like, he is not making weight. For a fight,
my God.
For a fighter on international TV being interviewed to say that, I couldn't believe it. I was like, Jesus. And I already had Wilson at plus 285 on the money line.
Yeah.
So,
Once the news of that catch weight came out, the price dropped. It got cut in half. Everybody started piling on Wilson.
How about your boy Morataya, Danger? Because, what I like in more, the odds are crazy. This is another fight. Robson Conceição, 37-year-old former champion. I still don't think he beat Shock, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Brazilian Olympian. He's never been stopped. He's an 8-1 dog here.
I thought it was wider than that. I thought it was similar to the Curiel odds.
I had him something like that.
It was almost identical to Curiel Randall.
14-1. Yeah, I got him 14-1.
Are people?
I gotta get
Johnny gets the 3-way odds though, so some days
they
drop a lot.
They drop a lot.
Yeah, it's different when you play 3-way. You're not protected.
One of the boys in the chat brought up a good point. He said that when we were talking Zepeda Roach, my book is 3-way, so a draw. If I take either guy on the money line, it's a draw. My bet loses. So that's my book though. So that's why the odds are a bit different. How about? I like Morataya on points here at 179. So what I've done, I've taken Morataya and the last fight we were talking on points, it pays plus 210. Curiel. I took Curiel and Morataya on points. Plus 210.
Makes sense.
So I'm just going with stats. Maybe it's their time. You got Quentin Randall's 35, Conceição's 37. Neither guy's been stopped. Maybe it's their time to get stopped.
He gasses too. That's the thing with Robson Conceição. He's also a 130-pound fighter going up to lightweight. Raymond Morataya is massive at lightweight. He's going to be going to 140 soon. They do have that IBF rehydration clause though, but this is a typical in-house top rank voluntary defend your belt. So they picked Robson Conceição. They got him ranked at 135 without really any wins at 135. So he should, I don't know. Raymond Morataya could stop him late, but you're gonna have to show me that you can stop Conceição.
My thing with Ray is that watching his last 3 years of his career, and obviously coming off that big win against Andy Cruz, in which I thought it was real close. I actually picked Cruz to win that fight. It's good to. I don't know. I'm still not like people are calling him like, he's real good. He's technical, good camp. He's aggressive. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot. People are acting like he's an absolute killer right now. Are you buying into the Morataya hype?
The way he
Morataya?
handled, I picked Cruz. The way he handled Cruz, you got to give it to him.
He leveled up. He leveled up.
That was to me the best performance of the year right there. That was the best performance of the year.
He was so sharp. He was sharp. He was switched on the entire time. I was impressed. But now, you know how boxing fandom is. Now you're hearing Morataya is the best in the world.
He's the best in the world. He's gonna beat Shakur. He's gonna go up to 47. Look,
I also think a part of that was people were highly overrating Andy Cruz. Overrating Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz had perfect matchmaking with flat-footed Mexicans that's exactly what they were. They were lined up for him. They were tailor-made for him. And he actually went against somebody that had boxing IQ, size, that could use the ring, counter. Like, it was the first time Cruz ever fought somebody like that. The matchmakers did Andy Cruz no favors by then lining him. He would have been better off against a Navarrete or somebody. It was
a very close fight. It was very competitive.
It was close. But look, as someone that picked Morataya, I don't rate Morataya that highly. I really I pick Abdullah Mason all day over Raymond Morataya.
People in my chat are saying that Morataya would beat Mason. I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I'm not.
No, I like Mason. I would take Mason against Morataya.
He's a much better fighter, much more skilled fighter. He does get a little. He's a kid. He's super young. He's still a little too full of piss and vinegar sometimes. Like, he's never seen a brawl he doesn't like, kind of thing.
There's a little. You know what?
Though you know what he reminds me of? Bud Crawford.
Who?
He reminds me of.
That was my comp.
Abdullah Mason, where he gets hit and it flips the switch. Like, I'm gonna get him back. He's not. Yeah,
you know what? We saw a little bit of that last week though with Jaleel Hackett. I've been a fan of Jaleel Hackett. I've been a fan of his at only 23 years old in his weight class. That kid, man, he is a throwback with his fight style. I feel he gets a couple big wins. And Derevianchenko, man, 59 years old, dude, went out on his shield. He got the brakes beaten off of him. But dude, Derevianchenko, that was one of my favorite. Yeah. That was one of my favorite fights of the weekend. What a warrior Derevianchenko is. And I thought up until the final bell, Hackett might get stopped. Like, even though he was up so far, it's just Hackett's style.
Right hands. He kept eating right hands from Derevianchenko. He
made the adjustment with the right hand. About the fourth, he started rolling with it. But up until the fourth, it was landing clean. And then he started rolling. But that's sort of like, what's the word?
He started looking his age, Derevianchenko.
Bro,
I felt a little
that
bad.
style, though, Hackett has, man, he's not going to have a long career probably. But, mate, he wants to get into a dust-up.
He leveled up in that fight. For sure. That was a few fights before he was fighting at welterweight, struggling with Pete Dobson. So,
Two boiled down.
Yeah. I mean, for
him
to come up against the...
How dare you? Why are we talking about Conor Ben?
And y'all love Conor Ben. Oh, Conor Ben's the greatest thing we ever saw. But proceed.
What are we talking about Conor Ben for? We're talking about Jaleel Hackett
of all time. Conor Ben. Conor Ben wrecks Prime Pacquiao, Floyd. He wrecks them all. Proceed.
What are you talking about?
You guys love Conor Ben.
Who loves Conor Ben?
Everybody in the sound of my voice told me how good Conor Ben was.
How did we get from Jaleel's performance against Derevianchenko to Conor Ben?
I digress. Proceed.
All right, so you're a maniac, bro. You're a maniac. All right, so the big fight in the UK. Shout out to Julius Knows Boxing. He's in our community. If you're not following him, he just started a YouTube channel, J Knows Boxing. Give him a follow. And he actually, if he wants to come on, Julius, if you're watching this, I'll drop a link. Because Julius likes Mark Chamberlain to go into Dublin and beat Pierce O'Leary. Boys, what do you think?
Bring him on. I don't see that at all. I think this is a beatdown. Maybe a stoppage. I think Chamberlain might do well with his height and reach for a while, but by the time we get 4th, 5th round, I think O'Leary's going to start to beat him down. He may stop him late.
O'Leary is on my quarterly parlay that I made in June. My monthly parlay. I put him on parlay so long ago, he was at $1.75. Now he's $1.47, which is still $1.47, 47% return. Julius made a case. Julius, if you're on, I'm dropping that link.
Jump in.
Pull up.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see it. When you watch Pierce's tape, I like his counterboxing. I like his jab. I like his aggression. I like his physicality. He's the A side. Chamberlain, he's a bit too open for me. I think Chamberlain's a little bit of a level below. Are you betting on that
He's gonna
fight?
get caught. Mark Chamberlain's gonna get caught. He's you know, a lot of the books over here, I don't really have that fight. O'Leary.
You don't have
I
this
don't
fight.
have it on my book either. I don't have it. Yeah, I want to bet on this fight. I ain't got it.
That fight was originally postponed, and then they had Maxie Hughes come in on late notice, which Maxie Hughes also.
Julius. All right, Julius is here. I'm dropping the link. Give me 1 second, bro. I want to and sell us, Julius. Sell us on what you're seeing. Invite guests. Copy. All right, big dog. All you, bro. So we have fights tonight. Did you know that? There's fights in New Zealand that the boys have action on. It's fucking crazy.
Somebody was asking about I don't know New Zealand club fighters. Go talk to John. Do you know these
guys? We have a former New Zealand pro in our Discord, so I took all of his notes. All right, here we go. Add to stage. Boom.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Hey, shout out TJ, man. I've been following TJ for a minute, man.
Hey, what's up, bro?
But yeah, man. Pierce O'Leary is manufactured. How do you get a IBO title fight against a blown up 140 pounder coming off a loss with 9 losses, and Pierce O'Leary to get this to fight for the European super lightweight title? He fought Liam Dillon coming up from 130. He's just been manufactured. This is his first time he's in a competitive fight with a guy who 100% believes he's going to win. Chamberlain a dog.
Why do you think Pierce O'Leary is manufactured? I mean, he was highly touted by Queensberry for years. He had good amateur career.
Good amateur.
Really good amateur. I remember talking about him about 4 years ago. When he was icing people. He's got. These are domestic level guys. He's got a win over Kane Gardner. He's got a win over Darrell Foley. He's got a win over Liam Dillon. Again, these are, and then he stopped Maxie Hughes. Stopping Maxie Hughes to me is impressive. Why don't you rate him?
Pierce O'Leary first came on my radar 2022. He was fighting an African journeyman, and the over-under on that fight was 1.5.
Munga Jayla.
He couldn't make a dent in him. His name is the Big Bang. He's stiff. He has been matched perfectly in his position. He's been matched perfectly, and I feel Chamberlain had. Jack Rafferty was a buzzsaw on the domestic scene in UK. Jack Rafferty was stopping everybody, blowing him out. Because Cook could be considered a boogeyman. Got in the ring with Chamberlain. Arguably, I felt Chamberlain won, but most importantly, he didn't make a dent in Chamberlain. Chamberlain was there all night, moving for 12 rounds, strong combinations. Chamberlain has been in tough fights. This weekend, Pierce O'Leary has never seen something like this.
That's crazy.
Chamberlain has seen.
Dude, Mark Chamberlain is good. He's evidently a level below when we're talking about skill set, stylistically, what he brings in the ring. All right, so let's get past resume and who they fought and who they haven't fought. Stylistically, what is Chamberlain going to do when the fight starts? What tools does he have? What he possesses that he's going to be able to one-up Pierce O'Leary and get one past him?
Combination punching.
You think he's a good combination puncher?
Movement.
Chamberlain's going to out athlete Pierce O'Leary.
Pierce O'Leary is very stiff. He's very robotic.
Who has the better hand speed? Who has the better power?
One punch. Oh, power. I'll go Chamberlain. Chamberlain has knocked guys out in the first round. He's knocked out Gavin Gwynn.
Who's the better counterboxer?
He looked good agaest Gavin Gwynn. He did.
Gavin Gwynn was.
Dude, we're talking about Gavin Gwynn, the kid who fought Cameron Vaughn.
Gavin Gwynn is a heavy bag, though. Gavin Gwynn is a heavy
This
bag.
is the same Gavin Gwynn versus Cameron Vaughn that we had to tape because they actually they fought twice.
Listen, he did look good, though. He looked good. He stopped Gavin Gwynn. He stopped it. He beat the shit out of Gavin Gwynn.
Let me.
He did. But I think Pierce O'Leary would do the same with Gavin Gwynn.
we have to think about fighters' trajectories and how a fighter has moved throughout their career. At 26 years old, at home, Pierce O'Leary, the version you're seeing of him every single fight is going to be a little bit better, a little bit more confident. I feel the version we're going to see him come fight nights in Dublin is going to be just that. And I think Chamberlain fights a little bit too emotional. I think it's a little bit too loopy with his punches. I think he's probably going to get stopped.
We know how I wanted to. Jules mentioned the African that he beat and said he didn't dent him. He dropped him twice. You know how hard these Africans are durable and rugged as hell. Like nobody stops these Africans, right? Like he dropped him twice, including in the first round, by the way. Like that's the fight you're beating up on, a fight where he beat the hell out of some
when he was 21.
At
21 years old.
Possibly difficult African dude that no one could stop. You could hit him with a sledgehammer, you're not going to stop him. And that's the fight you beat him up for. And he dropped him twice, by the way.
Chamberlain, he stopped a world level African guy in one round, beat the shit out of him in Saudi Arabia. My main contention with O'Leary is that this is your first time fighting a young power puncher. I don't know how he's going to react to a power puncher. His whole career, he's fought nothing but fighters who lack power. Liam Dillon had 3 knockouts. Max Hughes not a power puncher. I don't know how he's going to react to a guy who's going to try to get him. Mark Chamberlain has not. Yes, you're right. Pierce O'Leary has a highlight reel knockout. He has a highlight reel of knockouts. So does Chamberlain. And Chamberlain fought in Saudi Arabia. He was the British title holder. He's not. I just think this is the first time O'Leary.
If we had a time machine, I would take Daryl Foley to beat Chamberlain in their prime. Daryl Foley is a tough night out. Right? He's a tough southpaw, dude. I've seen Daryl Foley in wars. I just don't trust Chamberlain, man. I don't trust. I think he's a bit too brave for what he brings into the ring. I think that O'Leary's skill set, just him as a fighter, he has too big of a toolbox. There's no way he's losing in Dublin.
And I told the people, I said one thing about Chamberlain. I kind of push back on Pierce O'Leary amateur. To me, I'm gonna say this: Chamberlain is a he's multiple times he won the United Kingdom amateur British champion. Right, that's what he was. I will put winning that over making Team Ireland because it's like 50 million people in United Kingdom. So to me, it's like. I feel he has skills, and I personally think similar to a lot of fighters, I don't like a fighter being preordained. I think they are preordaining Pierce O'Leary, the face of Irish boxing. That's why I've been watching. I've been watching Irish television. They are ordaining Pierce O'Leary as the face of Irish boxing over McKenna, over Walsh, and I'm like, don't like that. I don't like ordaining this guy.
You're right. That's true. This is his, obviously, if he's the real deal, he has to be someone like Mark Chamberlain.
For sure. Like I don't rate Jack Rafferty. I don't rate Jack Rafferty at all. So like if we're doing he drew with Jack Rafferty, okay, he lost to Josh Padley. He got dropped against Josh Padley. Like, I mean, what so these are his moments. So he's gonna come in as the B-side and take a 26-year-old's gloss, a kid who's been, you said manufactured, I would say molded for this moment since he was a young kid in front of his people. I think we're going to hear that fight song, the Celtic bagpipes, baby. Let's get him ready.
Yeah, this is a now or never moment right now.
Yeah.
They're putting him up big.
For Chamberlain.
I'm saying this is now or never moment for O'Leary. If he's really the real deal, the face of boxing, for Ireland.
I've been watching Irish television. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Julius.
Yeah, but Katie Taylor's about to retire. They're looking for a new star, and they're pointing probably to
Julius, you crazy. Julius said, I've been watching Irish television.
That's how I felt, yeah. Because I feel like I said, it's similar to y'all was talking about Andy Cruz. I remember we were talking about.
Are we in too deep, boys? Boys, are we in too deep?
You got to be, man. I learned something.
Irish television.
I learned something.
They thought Cruz was the next Loma. Everyone was saying he was the next.
I don't like preordaining a boxer unless you've been in 50-50 fights with a dude who believes he's going to win. Until I see you in that position, hey man, because like I just said, the Irish fan base is starving for a star. Gary Cully was the guy. They always want a guy.
He's fighting on this card.
Puerto
He's
Rico, they
fighting.
always want a guy like in Puerto Rico, Scotland. They just desperate for anybody, man. Ashton
Scotland.
Brown was supposed to be the guy. Remember, Ashton Brown was the when we took Gilly over
Look,
Brown. They were
he's
And
saying
Gilly
right.
Brown
came
was
in and see that
He's right,
I
though.
think
He's right
I think what we're gonna
with
see
that.
here. I think what we're gonna see here is that I think that in this case though, Pierce is Gilly, and your boy is Aston Brown. I think there's gonna be levels.
well, we'll see. I'll tell you
We'll
betters,
see.
man. Hey, be very cautious putting O'Leary on that parlay, y'all. That's all I gotta say. But
O'Leary's on. I got him. I
If
smashed
I can
O'Leary.
get him, I'm gonna bet him on every parlay. Him,
Look, I thought he looked.
on every parlay.
How
him,
did
Gary.
you think he
That's
looked against
the
Max
parlay,
Hughes,
guys.
though?
You want my
He
lock
looked
of the week?
phenomenal against
That's the
Max
Conwell Pierce O'Leary. That's my lock.
uh,
Yeah. There you go.
Maxie,
Yep.
okay. I'm TJ. I give it to you. Yeah, chill time. What I give this? That was a 1 week notice.
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks, and he coming off a loss. He coming off a beat down. You know, so I just think Maxie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it was and I understand. Like I be telling my fan base, boxing is a circus as well. You gotta
Mhm.
understand that it is a sport, but it is a circus. We always looking to manufacture a star. That's the whole point of the promoter is to you listen to these promoters. He's the best ever. He's the next this. It's always he's the next this. I seen they what got me with really. Do you know Steve Collins in
Yeah.
Ireland?
I received calls.
Of course.
That's who they was having him in the conversations with on Irish on some of the Irish talk shows this week. They had him with Steve Collins. I said, and I said, nope. I
He's the
said,
legend.
I said, no, we going too far with this. This man ain't done nothing for y'all to put him in the conversation with Steve Collins. No, I'm sorry, no.
Well, they're talking about potential, but they're talking about potential. This is the romance of our sport. It's why it's the best sport on earth. We see potential in our fighters. You know what I'm saying? Without potential, we wouldn't watch the sport. That's part of the romance of the narrative.
I like
Comparing the,
Steve. I like Carness. If any found this card that I see has
Stephen
potential,
Carnes. Yeah, that's good.
Carness and Malloy. We looking at the Irish guys. I think
I'm gonna bring it
Malloy.
up right now. I'm gonna bring the card up. So
I
who
got
did you?
Carnes by stoppage. I think this is. I think, and you notice this card is filled with Irish 140 pounders. They looking for what I'm saying Gary Cully, Steve Carnes, and Pierce
Oh, so
O'Leary.
Carnes versus Kelly.
Yeah, I
So
think.
you're betting on the Gary Cully Reeves fight. Are you
Hey
betting on
man,
that?
Gary Cully does have a variable that's very favorable for him in my tool book. He has in my book when I look at it. I like to. You got a guy in Gary Cully who has accomplished things. I'm looking at Reeves. I'm not always the guy to say, look at his record, because I took Rios, I took Abraham Perez. They didn't have no professional record, but they was young. You 31, man. You you've been
Unknown.
you've been in obscurity for 10 years, man. I can't trust that. If he
This
was
fight's at
young,
47 too, though.
he said, I like that for Cully is 6'2". He should have been. I don't even know how the hell he made 135. And
Yeah, Reeves is somewhere around 6 feet. I'm not betting that fight because Gary Cully. It's hard for me to ever put like in his moment. He got, he got starched in his
but you heard
moment.
what happened to Felix. You heard what happened to Felix.
Yeah, he was on that good.
That was 6 months. I'm saying that was
He
6
was
months
on,
after the fight.
he was on the Mexican supplements.
Hey, 6 months after his only knockout loss, the dude get busted for some serious steroids. This wasn't no. He was taking bodybuilder steroids. He was taking Arnold Schwarzenegger steroids. He got a
Yeah, but
Yeah,
5-year
he's taking a
ban.
boy.
Coley's chin
And
got exposed there though because that fight right after with Reese Mold, he was
yeah,
He was not taking those shots good. Yeah, he was wobbling badly. Yeah,
I
he
ain't
had
betting
some type
Gary
of
Cully.
PTSD.
I
Yeah,
I, I I'm taking
The
because I got color. I
the
think
prop that I
I
like.
like him to win, but I can't trust him. That's the thing. Like if we came on here Sunday and be like, oh man, Gary Cully lost, like that wouldn't surprise me.
now I
It
would be
wouldn't
surprised.
surprise me at all.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Do you guys rate Royce and Barney Smith RBS
Ugh,
as a prospect?
I'm
Gary,
not.
I mean, do I think he's going to be like a world champion? No. Is he a quality fighter who will advance beyond the domestic level?
do you think
Look,
he's
yeah, I
Euro
think
level? Do you
Devin
think
doesn't
Bruce?
like any
Euro
UK
level.
fighters.
Yeah,
Don't
that's what I was
don't
looking
ask
at.
him
Yeah.
any UK fighters. He doesn't like any UK fighters.
That's not true. That's not
That's
true. I like
completely
Dalton
true.
Smith.
He likes Dalton Smith.
Other than Dalton Smith, yeah, I don't like any of them.
Uh,
I like
R,
the Edwards brothers personally. I've talked to a bunch. I like both of them personally. I just don't like him in the ring.
Okay, so
RBS, he has a stadium fight with his name on it soon. You know, that's all I know. We
for
gotta stay.
sure, for sure, I think he's gonna make a statement against Reese. Reese is on the back nine.
Oof. Yeah, Reese is
Reese is on the
past
back.
it, man.
I think the stoppage is live here. I think because RBS fights with a little bit of arrogance to his game, to his offense. That's why I like watching him. He could be a little bit. He wants to be bigger than what he is. I think this is a good spot for him to stop old Reese.
My only concern is this is the first time. See on that British domestic scene, which Gary has said and I've said too, is very few power punches. And my only concern for Royston is Reese Bellotti has stopped prospects before. You know what I'm saying? They have put him
When
in
he
like
was in his prime, 5 years ago.
He
I
stopped
wouldn't say
Michael.
5 years.
He stopped Michael Gomez Jr. That's a good win. And
Yeah,
that
That
was
is a good
That's a
win.
really good win.
that was
Akeem
recently.
Fies,
That was a
Akeem.
good
Michael
win.
Gomez Jr. I rate him. He's made us money before.
Not only did he stop
Reese,
him, he beat him up. He was hurting him to the body.
That was a
He
different
beat him up.
version, man. He looked off because when you watch Michael Gomez Jr. now versus the kid who fought Bellotti,
I think
it's
he went
like
up a weight class now. He
he
looks
was
better, fresher.
he looks
But
way better.
let me say this: Reese Bellotti didn't look bad his last fight. That fight was close against Josh Padley. That wasn't a blowout. Those cards were wider than what they should be. Reese Bellotti did well against Josh Padley.
I like no distance because I do believe that Royston Barton Smith, I feel they pushed him too fast. He's only
They're pushing
22,
him. Yep.
22, and I'm on that British scene is very few power punches. And if you are a power puncher, you're dangerous because it's not that many. Like I don't know what's going on over there, but it's just very few punchers over there. And this is
Moses Atama. That's what they got.
it got it's a few others. I mean, it's
Yeah,
You don't like
I
the
like
midnight
Whitaker.
train?
I like
handful,
Whitaker. I like
You,
Whitaker.
you don't like the
handful.
midnight train? Come on, boys.
Oh yeah, I would say it's a handful.
I
But
just don't like the way they view the sport. I hate.
It's
I
a
just hate
gentleman's
how they
sport,
view
Gary.
the sport.
It's a
Okay,
gentleman's sport.
but you're in a fight. If you're in a like, they don't. I don't think they comprehend
They're
that
big
you're
on
in a fight.
fundamentals. Big on
and
big on
also
fundamentals.
you get paid. It's like this. If Dave Allen can have a stadium fight, it's almost like why do you need to go? Because if you look in America, for you in America to get any promotion, you got to be a killer. If you ain't a killer in the American or Mexican circuit, you have no chance. But I see over in Britain, I mean, Ryan Gardner has stadium fight. It's like you don't need to super perform to get a stadium fight. So I kind of say, yeah, if all I need is the win to get a stadium fight, I can get that. All I need to win, and they gonna give me a stadium fight.
You can't. What you're doing though. You can't compare different cultures to fabrics of different sports. When you're in the UK, what you're comparing is skill level of UK fighters versus American fighters, and anybody in the UK could get a stadium fight versus nobody in America. You can't do that because A, population, B, it's a different culture. The people, the Brits, these guys, read about, the history of York Hall and, the long, vast, over 100 years of fighting in football stadiums. There's a direct connection with, your football, like Josh Kelly, Sunderland, your boy, the big dude who never wins fights, who gets stadium fights. They're connected with their fan bases with the football team as well. So that's how you sell tickets. So this is why people go. And they love a punch up. They don't care about like, will this guy be an undefeated Hall of Fame world champion? They're like, let's go see a punch up in a stadium.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I just feel like over there, the
A Pittsburgh
fighters
club fighter is not going to fill out Heinz Field or PNC Park
like if
for a
Caleb
fight.
Plant like this, if
I
Caleb
just
Plant was in Ireland, Caleb Plant would be
You're
selling
gonna
out
you're gonna cause
60,000.
Gary. You're
He
gonna
would be
cause Gary to have a
if
meltdown,
if
dude.
Caleb Plant was an Irish
Caleb Plant
fighter in
sucks.
Ireland, he would be selling out
No,
70,000 in
you're
football
right,
stadium.
and this is a fair point. We don't support our fighters like Ireland does or other countries do. We don't support Puerto Rico, Mexico. We don't support our fighters like that. We don't, for better, whatever the reason may be.
Distractions, too many other things to do. Hollywood, there's a lot of other things. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of other sports. There's a lot of other sports in the United States.
But
I was
you feel like on this Irish card you think Pierce O'Leary is you think he is the guy to be the face of Irish boxing, because that's what I seen. I just want you think that you rate him that high?
I think he can be.
Okay.
You know who's not going to be is Cole Murphy, that bastard. John O'Carroll. I can't believe I bet on that.
When we're talking about how I hate British boxing,
I took John
used to love Carl Froch. What happened to fights like Carl Froch? Why don't they make fighters like that anymore? I love Carl Froch.
Julius, can I ask you?
That was a good era, though. Carl Froch, the whole era was good, though.
What's up, TJ?
Who's your pick for Zepeda Roach?
All day Zepeda. What my problem with Roach is? What my problem with Roach is? I took Pitbull over Roach, but I'm concerned. He just fought at 140 and he coming back down. I don't like that. I never like it when at 30 years old you coming back down. I never like that. And let's be real, Tank and Pitbull are midgets. Like, I mean, Pitbull reaches like 64. Zepeda's reach is 70. And it's like, I just feel like everything is tailor made for Zepeda to win, man. It's like Roach has to stop him, or he has to drop him numerous times to win. He's not gonna win if that final bell is heard. I don't see no way Roach winning.
We're down some knockdowns, right? Yeah.
Would Lamont Roach sell out? Will Lamont Roach sell out a stadium in his hometown? Is he that type of star?
If he would have got the wins over Roach and Tank, maybe he could sell out a really good in the DC area, the Baltimore area. I think away from Maryland somewhere. He could have somewhat like Keyshawn, but I feel like now at 30. I mean, he had his chance, man. I mean, Roach he's had many chances in his career. People forgetting this. It's not like Roach new to the scene. Roach has been fighting. He lost to Heron. I remember him getting dropped and lost. Arguably, in my opinion, he lost to Cruz in Puerto Rico. I feel like Roach, man, is not. He is a slick. He's a black fighter, and people are thinking he's like Shakur. He's nothing like Shakur.
Nothing like him.
Nothing like him. They are thinking he's this Richardson Hitchens, Shakur type fighter. Roach is a fighter that likes to stand in the pocket, but he has no power. This is his most powerful puncher. And again, he was taking some shots off Tank. I'm saying he was not no. He didn't. He was. I give it to him.
He got hit.
Man, Zepeda gonna be hitting that stomach like a drum, man, the whole night, man. Whole night.
That's what I think too. Now, the other end of that question, Zepeda, would he sell out a stadium in Mexico City?
I think
yeah, for sure.
I think Zepeda a little too old for that. I think right now he's 30, man. I just think for him to do that, he needs to make a statement Saturday. He has to stop Roach. If he stopped Roach, I could see that. Because he could say, man, Tank couldn't stop him. Pitbull couldn't stop him.
Didn't Chavez Jr. have a stadium fight against Billy Lyle back in the day? The pride of Ohio, Billy Lyle. Julio Chief, I swear, I was like, I can't believe he's a Youngstown kid. Billy had a decent pro career. But I remember thinking, damn, they're doing stadium. He had a stadium fight, Chavez Jr. But anyway, I digress. So, because people in our Discord were saying that Roach has the bigger upside for the cards to favor him from a marketability standpoint. And I was like, no one really talked about Roach before the draw with Tank.
He's signed with Pro Box, right? He's with Pro Box still? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we were.
Roach got dropped by Roach got dropped by Top Rank. I mean, he's had his opportunities, man. The guy fought for a world champion at 23. It's not like I don't like the fact that people acting like here's his time.
Here.
Yeah, he didn't just get here. He been here. You know, he's had his opportunities. He lost. He lost to a guy. Jamel Herring was 10 years older than him. We gotta put that in, man. He was 10 years older than him. That was his time. He should have been winning then.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that
people do get better? People do mature. They do grow up, right? Like they do improve, right? Like he was 23. Now he's in his physical prime. He's a man. He's smarter. He's better. He's clearly better now than he was when he had a draw with Orlando Cruz, and got schooled by Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring is another example of that. Jamel Herring took a bunch of losses and stuff early in his career too, and then he grew up and he got wiser and he got smarter and he improved on things. What Lamont Roach did in 2018 and 2019 isn't going to impact what he does on Saturday night. He's a different guy.
Well, I think Julius is talking more to like the gumption of the character of the moment. Like he's had his moment. What makes you think he's going to all of a sudden rise up when he's had a moment and he hasn't
beat
risen up
Tank
before?
Davis.
Okay.
So he lost to
See,
Orlando Cruz 10 years ago. He beat Tank Davis.
The history books say he didn't though. See, this is my point.
Then he didn't lose to Orlando Cruz. He's got a draw.
No.
It was a draw with Orlando Cruz,
So
right?
so his best moments though, legacy speaking, his best moments are fights he didn't win.
I say this about Laura all the time. Laura's got wins over Canelo and Paul Williams.
He's also a world champion. He's still
Roach doesn't have the power. He doesn't have. That's his main problem. Roach doesn't have power, man. Roach doesn't have power.
Well, right. Former world champion. But you're saying Laura's a current world champion. Okay, I see.
Roach doesn't have power, man. He's only stopped journeyman. He's only stopped low level club fighters. His power.
Who has more power, Roach or Farmer?
Probably Roach.
Both of these guys, yes, they have very low powers. I mean, I would say Roach because he's younger. But if at 30, if we say at 30, I would go Farmer. Farmer had a great career, man.
Farmer is super underrated.
Farmer's got a bunch of losses too. Like we got to be consistent. If you're gonna say, and look, and Roach didn't lose to Cruz. I mean, he did. He lost every round. Cruz beat his ass. But like, how many losses does Tevin Farmer have? Like seven.
Let me clarify. What I'm saying is this: when Tevin Farmer finally got to the world scene, he capitalized on the moment. Yes, he had losses in his coming up, but when Roach got to the world level, he failed. When Tevin Farmer first got to the world level, he won and he defended that title multiple times across the world. I remember him going to Australia, defending his title versus. You know what I'm saying? He took that moment and ran with. He got that championship belt.
To be fair, when Tevin Farmer got to the world stage on HBO and he fought Agawa, the Japanese guy, he lost that fight. To be fair,
but you know what happened.
I love Tevin Farmer. I think his story is awesome.
That was a no contest though.
No, he lost. He lost to Agawa.
No, but on
it was a robbery. It was a horrible decision.
No, on BoxRec it was turned to a no contest because Ogawa got popped. Got popped for steroids.
There you go.
This is a no casual zone. We are no casual. We know about this.
So the chat's saying he also lost to JoJo. JoJo's a former world champion, though. Team USA guy.
I love JoJo. Yeah,
me too. JoJo Diaz in his prime, dude, is a world champion. So it's not like. I guess we could all come to the conclusion that it is going to be a very close fight. We can't read the future. There's no way anyone can sit here and tell you what's going to happen.
I don't know about it being a close fight, man. Because like I said, You say can Zepeda be a star? I'm thinking Oscar De La Hoya is putting Zepeda putting him in this spot for a reason. I think they believe he can show out. I think the reason he's fighting Roach is to see if he can stop him or put some damage on him. You know what I'm saying?
Same. Of course, JoJo's washed. Anybody who knows JoJo's best days were at 26. He's fighting at 47 now. My point was. And bare knuckle. My point is you can't, when you follow fighters' entire careers or when you're old like myself, I'm the oldest head here, is that I remember when JoJo was in the amateurs and you watch a guy go throughout his career, he becomes a world champion, he ages out and he still hangs around. The new fans only know him of what he looks like now, and when they're doing their resume mats about potential upcoming fights, well, he struggled with him. I'm like, yeah, but the with him was a world champion. You know what I mean? You can't it's something that I like calling people out on is the weight of the resume tells a lot of stories than just the wins or losses. And I don't know, there's a lot of variables to it. I just think Zepeda, what he brings into the ring versus what Roach does really well is what Zepeda does really well is what. I just think that is what for Zepeda is a level above Roach. What is Roach's strengths? What are his strengths?
He's got excellent feet. He moves around the pocket well. He can fight from all three distances. He's got solid speed, solid power.
I would say balance.
Roach he's got excellent feet. He's got excellent balance. Roach checks so many. I don't understand. Whenever we talk about Roach not being good, we're talking about fight from 6 or 7 years ago when he was 23 years old. He's a much better fighter now.
He didn't impress me against Pitbull. Did he impress you against Pitbull?
I thought he lost a step. I'm saying, and he's 30 years old. I think his particular style, is
he fights like a slugger. If he could only punch.
You know what?
If he was only a puncher.
Richardson Hitchens. That style against the pressure fighter that he fought, that's
Yeah,
the type of style.
Salas.
When you have a reach, when you have that reach, when you have the
Hitchens
ring
was
IQ,
cooking.
Hitchens
Hitchens
could
was
cook on the
cooking.
inside. He could cook with his back on the ropes, and then he
Oh.
could turn you, move you like that.
That jab.
That I'm impressed with. Like I'm impressed when I watch that against that pressure fighter. When
You
I
guys-
saw
I like
Lamont against
Zepeda.
Pitbull, when I watched Lamont against Pitbull, I can't walk away saying I was impressed. I was disappointed with both of them. I'll be honest with you. I thought Lamont could have did more to separate himself, and I thought Pitbull kind of just put his foot off the gas at times. I don't think that's going to be enough against Zepeda.
I like Zepeda. Zepeda is an excellent fighter. You guys are making me root for Roach now because of all the disrespect you're putting on Roach's name.
But
No,
hey,
he's a good fighter. Yeah, I'll say he's a great fighter. I think Zepeda might be an elite pressure fighter. I really think he might be an elite pressure fighter.
That's where I put
this
him.
Might be the fight. This might be the fight that separates himself and put him as.
That's where I put him. I think with Zepeda, that pressure fighter, swarmer, whatever you want to call him, he's the best in the world at that. And I don't think Roach is the best in the world at what he does.
Hey.
And I think stylistically, it's a nightmare for what Roach does well. Because I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's not the best in the world at what he does well. Is he the best catch and shoot fighter in the world? Does he have one-punch knockout power? Does he have good
everything
volume?
good, but nothing great. Like, where
That's what I'm
Shakur
saying.
has some great tendencies. He has some special quality. Like, Lamont's an all-around solid package. I don't know if that's going to be enough to beat.
He has a little bit. He reminds me a bit of Kenny Sims Jr. Like if Sims Jr. had a little bit more pop, if Sims Jr. had a little bit more power, great fighter, solid all around, world level guy, but I feel like he's going to fall short against a guy who's like, elite at their skill set. And I feel that nobody in the world.
You think Zepeda beats Tank Davis?
Right now, yes.
Stop it.
If he came back,
the version that fought
stylistically,
Lamont.
he's gonna walk into something from Tank. Like, there's no way Zepeda beats Tank.
If Tank came back, and like I said, me and Johnny was talking about this. Boxing is one of those sports you do not get. Most 99% of fighters don't get better over time. Punches ain't good for the body. They ain't good for the head. They ain't good for the body. I think he's washed at this point. He's had his time. I think when he come back, which he may, because I think he's gonna have some financial problems. Dude keep getting arrested every week.
He got emotional problems. That dude, he's an emotional. The chat's saying Kenny Sims Jr. sucks. Am I wrong on saying he's good?
He's not world level.
He's not world level?
I think you're overestimating him a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Kenny Sims. I mean,
Me too.
Everyone was hot on him with how many people were picking him to beat Oscar Duarte?
Yeah.
Nah,
he's just a guy I watch. He's a Midwest Chicago guy. I watched him since he was young.
Oscar Duarte is on par with Pitbull Cruz. I think that's a dead even fight.
Yeah,
I think Duarte kind of sucks, but that's just
Zepeda traveled the world with Team Mexico. I give him a little more. He got a little more game.
You don't think Pitbull Cruz sucks? I mean, Rayo outboxed him pretty easy.
I've never rated
Cabrera was outboxing him, so no, I think he's on the level with Oscar Duarte, and Oscar Duarte and Kenny Sims was almost a draw.
How bad did Duarte look last fight, dude? What the hell was that about?
Angel Fierro? Yeah,
Duarte looked horrible.
He looked horrible.
Perfect example, TJ, on why Liam shouldn't have taken that fight. Because wasn't Duarte, didn't Fierro come in over a lot?
He missed. Yeah. No, I don't know if it was a lot.
Yeah.
It's like 3 pounds.
It was a significant amount. It wasn't like he missed by a pound. He missed by a significant amount.
But hold on.
And Duarte did not look good.
Looked great. No, Duarte didn't look good.
Duarte looked horrible.
Yeah, no. But what does that have to do with Angel Fierro?
Duarte looked good in what fight?
For not taking the fight.
What is the fight that you guys think Duarte looked good in? Because I don't think he's ever looked good.
He looked
Kenny Sims Jr.
He looked good. He stopped Jojo Diaz the first to stop him.
Jojo Diaz
he beat him up and stopped him.
I liked him against Sims. I thought his pressure and his game plan against Sims was good. I like, he fought good off the ropes. He had a good game plan against Sims.
But Chill Town, you first, like I said, I first heard about you a year ago, right? Like, and you one of them guys, man. Like, you put me on doing the parlay weekly. You get what I'm saying? Are you still doing that? Like, I want to ask you, is you still? So you like?
I just don't post them. Yeah.
Okay. Next week, because this guy, he's mysterious. He disappears from Twitter here and there. So it's like,
yeah, I do.
Next week, Do you see like who? Okay, if we had to do a parlay for this week and next week, for the who gonna be on there?
I gotta look. I gotta look at the lineups. Yeah.
The Zuffa card next week. You like Aaron McKenna?
Zufa. Yeah, they got back-to-back Dublin cards, right? Yeah, I do like McKenna.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for the IBF.
I think McKenna's a future champ at 60.
I
rate
think
Aaron
he
McKenna.
could be the face of Ireland. I think him, so I think he is the guy, but they not pushing him. He could be the dark horse.
You know, I
he's
heard
not
about
as
him.
charismatic as O'Leary's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just
talk shit. Yeah, he like to talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 160 is there for the taking right now. Obviously, it's good.
100%.
There's a lot of movement through there with old man still holding the belt. All right, what does Zoo do next?
Lara. I would love the Lara fight.
That's his only option. Me.
No,
everybody else beats him.
I think Lara would
Eubank,
beat
right?
I think
Eubank
I don't think
fucking
Eubank can make
Berlega.
160 no more, man. I don't know about that. I don't.
Like watching Tim get hit by the shots Errol was landing. Tim wasn't reacting to the shots good at all either. Like there were some moments where Tim would get hit with Errol's lazy backhand, and Tim would freeze up and like he'd go vertical. Kind of like instincts to where would happen when you're kind of like you don't like getting hit anymore. I did not like what I saw from Tim that night, and I think this version of Lara beats him. I would take Lara.
43. Yeah, he's gonna get beat up by the old man. Lara.
Who would you take in that fight, Lara or Tim?
Tim Zoo looks older in the ring than Lara does.
He's only 31.
Oh no, man! It's like he is 43, man, and it's like overnight.
Yeah. Here's a question, boys.
And Cuban, which means he's 47 or 40.
Don't say he could be 50. I told you.
Yeah.
Andy Cruz 35. Andy Cruz 35. I don't care what nobody says.
And Luis Ortiz got to be 70.
I mean, has there ever been an example of a fighter who loses a gear and then regains it? So watching Zoo, he used to be a guy who could add that second level to his combos like he had against Gachet, like he had against Harrison. And watching him against Errol, and it was like, he would hit him, Errol would back up, and then he'd stop and freeze. It's like he lost that gear. And if he never finds that gear, I don't think he should be fighting. Because who are you going to match him with? You know what I'm saying? Like, they think he's going to go on a title run at 60 because he did say after the fight he's staying at 60. So,
do you think Zoo will bow out, or do you think he's one of those fighters that he going to go out on his shit? Like, he's going to go out
proud.
after stoppage. So you think he's not going to bow out? Okay.
No, he's proud. Tim Zoo's, dude, this is a guy, this is what I was talking about on my live stream. When you look at Costa when he was making his run in Australia and you see these documentaries that look all good, and you see Timmy right next to him, those videos end when Tim's 7. So imagine being 7 and your father has a secret family that nobody knew about in Russia, and he leaves you and abandons you with your mom and your little brother, and you're 7 now without a dad, and your last name's still Zoo. and then you choose to become a pro boxer in those footsteps without him. And watching him his amateur days, man, when he went pro in 16, fought every fight under the lights, had all this pressure on him. That his run was small, 20-21 up until Seb.
Yeah, when I first heard of Zoo was on the Jeff Horn Mayweather, not Jeff Horn Pacquiao. So yeah, I've known about him. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, he had to go over to America. A lot of people picked Gachet to beat him. He beats Gachet. I was at the Harrison fight. He stopped. Harrison wasn't in his prime, obviously, but Brian Mendoza was coming off that knockout win over Seb.
Win.
People try to kind of like create this little thing that Zoo didn't, do his own thing. Zoo did his own thing.
He had a great
tough fights.
18-month. He had a great 18-month run until he ran into. I think me personally, the Fundura loss took everything from him. I
don't think the first one did. I think it was Murtazaev.
That cut. That team fucked up. They should have stopped.
The team did fuck up.
Because his next fight,
I'm stopping that fight. I don't care. You had too much of a disadvantage, too much to lose. I'm stopping that fight.
And then you go to America to fight a Russian puncher.
Another horrible move by his. Another horrible move. Yeah, no.
You should go to prison.
They put the nail in the coffin, man. I think they put the nail in the coffin at him at world level.
That took his aura. Murtazaev took that because, dude, they were selling T-shirts with the hit list on it, and Spence was on it. Crawford, Charlo, Spence, Tim Zoo's hit list. It was
his
crazy.
whole demeanor changed after the Murtazaev.
Mentally, he'll never be the same.
Yeah,
and he
it's
wasn't.
crazy.
You saw with Fundora afterwards, the second fight.
So I don't know if they were talking about in America, but when Errol walked out to an Aboriginal song with the Aboriginal community with him, and that was his walkout song, and it was a song about the stolen generation in the 1960s. The Australian government were going into the Aboriginal communities and taking the children away from their families to westernize them and displace them and raise them white. It was insane. And Errol, when he landed, was kind of, told this story. And that song is telling that story. And so the way the people embraced him all fight week was amazing to see. And I said all week, it felt to me like more like a eulogy for Errol going into fight night than it was a celebration. How his body language was and everything. But the
Johnny,
experts,
man, that zoo pick, that is the culmination of this community, man. I really felt like that last week was our separation, man, from a lot of communities. Do you know how I'm trying to tell you?
I
I
got
would
trolled.
go every boxing community I talked to in America, everybody I seen, everybody picked Spence. Nobody picked Zoo, man. Zoo, man, paid bills, man. Like, man, we seen it for what it was. He was conning the public. That's what I like. He was conning the public all week. Him, Sean Porter. We just gotta hop on that a little bit. Those casuals, thank you, casuals. Thank you.
Yeah, thank the casuals. Dude, read the comment section. And I was coming at it from a coaching perspective. Coaching, watching balance, watching how he's hitting pads, knowing Errol since he's an amateur, how he used to punch. Him hitting combos, you had the people delusional in the comment section. Oh, Ronnie's slow. So, because Errol posted a combo of him going lead side, lead hook, lead up top. And there was just such a drastic pause. And I slowed it down. And the comment, you don't, who's this white boy? You don't know shit about boxing, blah, blah, blah. And after the fight, dude, when I got home, I spent an hour on all my social medias just responding, dummy, 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 dummy. Like, it was the thing about it was hard to watch. I didn't like both of them were hard to watch.
They
Like seeing
romanticize, man. They romanticize boxers. When, like I told you, they never ever want to admit that a boxer is receded in skill and
I don't think Errol should
ability.
have fought Terrence.
They never want to admit that their favorite fighter is done. It's something in every other sport. They admit it.
It was
In
the
every
fight of
other
the
sport.
decade between two generational talents. Errol should have fought Terrence.
I felt like
Johnny, what are you saying? It was the fight that we've been demanding for 5 years.
I'm telling you why I feel like he shouldn't have fought Terrence, because the version I saw against Ugas and the car crash, when you watch and you know that, I didn't have any broken bones, facial surgeries, vision issues, concussions, all that good stuff. You could see he wasn't the same guy. He wasn't 100% against. I felt like he should have retired from boxing. Is my point. Let alone take 3 years off and come to Australia to fight Zoo. It was hard to watch.
I told y'all not to bet on that. Everyone's like, no, Spence.
Well, that's why we should. That's why we bet on him.
Chill Town. How you feel about Canelo?
Learn your damn lesson. I learned my damn lesson with Keith Thurman. I was not going to repeat that mistake. I wouldn't have a boxing coach who told me that. I learned my damn lesson. And I learned my damn lesson.
But we picked Fundora by knockout.
Everything pointed to.
It's good for you guys.
All the variables.
That's good for you guys. That's good.
Everything.
All the variables pointed to Tim.
I see the same thing with Canelo or Chill Time. Well, I got you, man.
Yeah.
Canelo.
I'm seeing everything, all the patterns that I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Canelo, man, come on, man. I cannot see him continuing. Yeah, me too, man. Ain't no way you finna do another run at 168. No way.
Gary, Canelo?
Doesn't Billy got to knock him out, right? Because, we know Canelo's up at least 3 rounds to nothing. It's at least 30-27 right now.
I mean,
I like Billy too, but doesn't Billy got to stop him?
Bud
Can I ask you something?
He had to hang on. He had to beat him 11-1 to beat him 7-5.
I agree with you. Why have the judges always favored even before Canelo was a star, though, when we go back and look at his
money. It's a business. Canelo's worth money. You put a Canelo fight up, the sanctioning bodies are getting percentages. Everyone's getting paid. Canelo brings in hundreds of millions of dollars.
I just feel like Billy is the most dangerous fighter he's fought since Golovkin.
Triple G.
I mean, and at this point, like I was telling Johnny, the dude been a pro 20 years, man. He turned pro before the iPhone. 2005. No, 2005.
Was it 2005?
Yes.
Yeah.
He turned pro young.
Fucking hell.
He turned pro young. But in Billy's the
insane.
style, he always does well against.
He's a
but I
full
don't
fledged
think
168. You know,
exactly. I don't
and
think
Terrence Crawford had him wobbled, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Crawford
how much
fought
is he still in
beautifully.
it? Canelo's down here playing golf every day, right?
richest athlete in the history of Mexico. That's a
He
fact.
got
He's
so
the
much
richest.
money. And Billy's, he's hungry, man. He's he's not paid like that. He comes from
I do have to
humble
say, though,
beginnings. Yeah.
I do have to say about him, Billy, when you look at the last half of the Lester fight, I feel Lester kind of figured him out a bit, made it real close. He was running away early. And then when you watch Lester against Aleem, and then when you watch Diego, and I know we're not doing triangles, but do you think Billy, even though with all that, you think Billy's a lock to just run through Canelo? I don't
It's
think
not a
Canelo
lock.
would take
not
the
going to
fight.
run through him. I don't, run through him. I think we all agree that Billy, if it's a just system and we have fair judges, I think we all think Billy wins the fight. My issue here is what makes you think that we're going to have fair judges in this fight? We never
The
have fair
Saudis.
judges in this
I don't think the
fight.
Saudis respect Canelo like the people in Las Vegas. I don't think them dudes in Saudi care to respect fighters. Like, cause I seen how Tank said how the Saudis were talking to him. Them Saudi people, billionaires, oil tycoons. Why would they respect Canelo like that? Like, they got money. They don't even like.
A
Got
lot of
20,
them are the
30
same
wives.
judges. They fly the same judges out though.
Why
They
else?
do?
Why take this fight then? Why, if you're Canelo, why take the fight?
Don't know
Money.
when to say. Don't know when to buy out.
Other than Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward, boxers retire when the money dries up. So he's still going to get paid millions and millions of dollars. He's going to fight again.
What, he's only 35?
He's not.
He got
I
20
think
years,
he's
man.
35 or 36.
Yeah.
He just turned 36.
He's an
that's
old
a different,
36 boy.
an
Yeah,
old
he is.
36.
That's an old 36
He been getting
boy.
Look, he
punched in
did
the
not look
head.
good against Bud. He did not look good against Bud. His
No, he
wrestling
didn't.
was
Slower.
off. He looked frustrated. He definitely looked slower. His punch volume wasn't there.
His balance was still there. He didn't look wobbly though.
He
Like,
only throws like pop shots now. He's like he doesn't throw combinations anymore. He only he try to look for
Billy's
one
gonna
big
make
punch.
you. And Billy's gonna make you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lester Martinez, but Lester Martinez is a damn good fighter. Lester Martinez is a very good fighter.
I struggle, but is he the puncher they sold us to? Like, is he that guy? I'm still struggling with Lester because they sold him to us as this really dominant knockout artist. And then when you see him as of late, it's like a lot of those knockouts happened back home. Because he couldn't stop Aleem, I kind of used that to take Diego by knockout. I felt, and then Diego coming with Buddy McGirt, I was like, he's going to be a different guy. But it was because I felt like Lester might be a bit overrated as a puncher, not as a fighter.
On the flip side, you could say that this Martinez softened up Aleem for Pacheco.
Exactly
True.
what I was gonna say. Diego picked him up saying, you know what, this guy's coming off taking damage.
He frustrates the hell out of me, man, Diego. There's moments in Diego's
Pacheco
game
should be
too.
175, man. He should easily be 175. I don't know. I get why he's staying because that's the money right now at 160.
He's still only 25.
But he been making, like I said, 168 since he was 17. Like at some point, you gotta let the body grow out, man. Like you
Look
gotta
at that resume. I mean, what other forget Canelo at 168. The kid's been fighting everyone since he was like 18 years old. I think he's underrated. I think Pacheco, 6'4", 80-inch reach. I think he's gonna still elevate.
I think he's overrated.
You think he's overrated?
Yeah. I'm not big on Diego, man.
Who do you think? Who do you think beats him? Do you think Shiraz beats him?
Look, I do.
I'm not big up Pacheco either.
Even Shiraz was coming off a bad performance.
He looked horrible.
Diego's been dropped before. He struggled against Sean McCallum. He was getting
his jab looked great in his last fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is all recency bias, right? He looked phenomenal his last
Buddy
fight.
McGirt, baby. Buddy McGirt.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he need to go 175. If he go 175, yes, I think that will restart this. But I think if he continued to kill himself to make 168, I think he's up.
There's a
Julius,
reason
what'd
why
you think
he
of
turned
his
down
physique?
Billy. There's a reason why he turned down Shiraz. He turned down both of them. He turned down a world title shot against Shiraz. The dark horse at 168 is Iglesias.
Oh, Iglesias, yes. And I think he beats them all right now. I don't think, I think at 168.
I don't know, man. Last time we saw Osley, dude, he gets a bit loopy. He's not like he has a little bit of elbows a little bit wide. He breathes a little bit deep. He's kind of one tempo on a lot of his punches. I don't think he would just walk through all these guys at 68. We just see Iglesias at like he's super explosive, but when you run on that engine, the later a fight goes or the more savvy of an opponent you go up against, you're going to be tested in how's his cardio sort of thing.
He reminds me of a David Morrell when Morrell was at 168. Morrell looks completely different at 175, but at 168 he had that athleticism. He was always a step ahead, blowing people out. He looked good until he didn't look good.
Yeah, we're not allowed. We don't bring up that name on our channel. David Morrell. We don't bring Gary's falling asleep. Boys, we've been on almost 2 hours, mate. Yeah. It's going on an hour and 45 minutes. Leave us with something, Julius. All three of you. Who's your pick of the week?
Oh, Chamberlain. Hey, Chamberlain, man. We gonna wake up next on Sunday, and they gonna say, "Damn, I should listen to Julius." But all good, y'all, man. J Knows Boxing. Subscribe, like, share. All right, y'all.
Gary, who's your pick of the weekend?
2-leg parlay it. Pierce O'Leary and Conwell, easy money.
I like your
Pierce
style.
O'Leary and Conwell. You say Conwell.
Conwell. How about you, TJ?
Yeah. No, I thought you said Conway.
Conwell.
Me do. Oh man, I'll steal your pick. Raul Curiel points. Raymond Murataya points.
My God, we'll be shoulder to shoulder.
Zepeda points. With Zepeda points. Put them all three together.
Dude, we're talking like plus 500
I
now,
just
baby.
wish the price was better on it. I was not rooting for anyone. Like I didn't have a dog in this. I didn't have a dog in this fight. Now you guys are so disrespectful to Roach.
Don't bet
for Roach now.
Don't bet with your heart.
My bet on that is either the draw or Zepeda by points because I like the price on it. Right? I wouldn't bet. I don't like the price on Roach. Roach by decision is only like plus 110. So I would lay off that. The draw, I like the draw. And I like the price on Zepeda by points at plus 300 or better.
Yeah, I just could not pass up Zepeda at plus money on the money line. So that's for all full transparency for the boys in terms of my bankroll. The most money I have on one fight, it's Zepeda on the money line. So that's the one I'm most financially invested in. And then other than that, boys, it's always a good time, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Glad you set this up, TJ and Gary.
Good talking to you guys.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Good luck too, boys. Good luck.
TJ.
Thank you.
See you, boys.
All right.
Woo! Guys, that's an hour and 45 minutes. So look, we have fights in New Zealand in 3 hours. If you guys are still on, if you're in our Discord, we're gonna see if we can get one of our New Zealand boys to stream them. Check your books. I'm gonna show you if you guys are still on an hour and 45 minutes. I'm gonna show you my picks. If you go to Bet365 Bet365 in Australia has the New Zealand card. So, and then I'll stay on for a little bit longer if you want to talk UFC because I do. Check all the JSB insiders, check the Patreon and check the YouTube members only. You have 6 tickets. My UFC dog, the UFC triple. There's a boxing quad, my boxing double, boxing dog. And then I'm going to do one more. And I'm also taking I'm taking Cohen Ray here. I have Cohen Ray at plus 110 and I have WADA. So I got this last night at plus 200. A little bit sneaky half unit bet. It's BX9 is the promotion in New Zealand. And that is my take. That's the double I have tonight. So appreciate everybody here, man. Whether you're on my channel or Gary's, you guys are all invited whenever you want. Appreciate the support. There's not many people online who do what Gary and I do. So if you're not following G, go follow him. If you're new to my channel, I say thank you for supporting me. We put a lot of work into this. We don't always have to agree. So wherever your money's at, if we agree or disagree, good luck with everything. And I'll catch you in the next one.